Alright, In Cold Blood was nominated for the 1968 Academy Award for the Best Cinematography. So it was a black and white movie that I watched. I watched the 2 hour long, the 1967 version, and so it was all in black and white, but there is lighting. They used lighting, of course, but they were a lot of the scenes were kind of dark lighting. Like I had to turn my brightness up on my phone all the way, but it was like they were traveling at night, they were driving at night. It kind of gave it like a scary movie kind of thing. And I guess it kind of is scary. At first I thought it was going to be a scary movie because it's about murder, but it was more about the minds of the criminals behind it. But that was kind of why I was kind of scared to watch it at first, because I thought it was going to be a scary movie. And like throughout the whole first scenes, it was raining, it was gloomy, and it was dark. And so I thought that was kind of setting it up, but it didn't turn out to be scary at all. I guess it was just, I don't know. It was a little bit scary at some parts, but it was kind of protective. Um, there was in the court, not in the courtroom, but in the rooms that they were getting questioned by the officers. The lighting there was really bright, and you could see like every expression on Perry and Rick's face when they were getting questioned, and you saw their sweat, you saw their facial expression and how nervous they were. And so I guess the bright lighting was kind of like they were caught. They were bright. They were out in the daylight. They were caught because like the crime that they committed was at night, so that was really gloomy and dark. And so when they were caught, I think the light kind of means like that they're done for. In the last scene, and they used a lot of flashbacks in it. Perry always went back to into his life with his mom and his dad and recalls memories of them because they're kind of why he's crazy, because he was neglected as a child, because his parents had problems. And like um there was a scene where his dad was abusing his mom. But yeah, Perry used a lot of flashbacks, and it to me it kind of explained why he did it, like why he was so murderous, or why he killed so much, because he had experience and he saw his dad do it. And when they actually were talking about the crime, at first I thought like right when they were going to do it, it was going to show everything that happened like during the murder, but that didn't happen at all. I was like kind of embracing it. I was kind of scared for it to watch it, but I knew I had to. So I just let it play, but I turned the volume all the way down because I thought they were going to be like screaming and murderous and stuff. But it just skipped right into the next scene where they were done with it and they were escaping. And they didn't talk about it until afterwards, with at the last scene where Perry was talking about everything that happened that night, because Perry was like, oh, I actually remember what happened, so I'm going to tell you now. And so that's when we get all the details of what happened during the um, killing, which is where we saw that they were trying to find find um, the safe, and they were saying that there is no safe, and then how they got killed, how they were tied up, and that's when Perry started spilling the beans eventually. And also in the last scene, right when Perry is about to die, Perry's talking about his dad. It's raining outside, and he's standing right by a window, and the window is shining. It's raining in its window, so it was like half of his face was dark and the other half was light. And on the light side, you saw like kind of like the rain. It was kind of like, I don't know, it was gloomy. So, and Perry was talking about his dad and how he was kind of depressed and he hated his dad, but at the same time, he said he loved him too. So it kind of created like a gloomy, like kind of depressing scene, because it is when he was right about to die. It was kind of, he was talking about writing a letter to his dad. Well, not writing a letter to his dad, but he was asking someone to send like a map, a treasure map to his dad, and that's when he started talking about his dad and stuff, because when he went to prison, he never saw his dad again. He got out on patrol, but he did not want to go back to see his dad. He just went with Rick, and because they were money oriented in their minds. So there's that. Um, so the other scenes, most of the other scenes, they were really dark, unless it was like in broad daylight. And most of the happier scenes was probably always in the light, not dark, because bad things happen in the dark, I guess. So yeah, and going in and out of scenes, this cinematography, they kind of, when they switch scenes, they use a transition. Like they would zoom up on something, for example, and then go into the next scene instead of just switching like from the bright picture and just going to a next scene. It would zoom up and then switch to the next scene. So that's all for cinematography, at least. A good thing about the movie was their casting, their choice of casting. Um, if you look at Perry Smith and Richard Hickok in real life versus what they looked like in the movie, you can see that they are very similar. There was a scene in Cold Blood when they were talking about tattoos with Rick, and he had a tattoo on his hand, and when I looked up what they looked like, it showed that he had the same tattoo on his hand. So I thought that was a really great idea. I didn't know about Perry because it looked like Perry had a bunch of tattoos. The real one had a bunch of tattoos, but in the movie he wore a jacket. So I don't know about that one. But Richard, he was talking about in the movie, they was talking about a snake tattoo and why he got it and stuff. And when I looked it up, he actually had a snake tattoo there. So that was really cool. And their face, like, their facial construction, from the characters in the movie and in real life, there was a really great resemblance between the two. I thought they looked really alike. And the Clutter family, they did a good job with choosing the characters to play the Clutter family too, because they also looked really alike from the people from the real life, that were actually killed. They looked like the characters that were in the movie. So I think they did a really good job with the casting.